Hello, class. So today we want to create our base for our wig. Now, some of you have already started working on the headband that goes around and the crossband that goes over the top. And that's great. If you've got that started, that's awesome. If you haven't got it started, this is what you're going to begin working on today. All right, so what we want to do is kind of transform this into this. It almost looks like a woven paper basket. One thing I want you to notice, for the most part, you'll see a little hole here and there. For the most part, it's like a head covering, like a cap, like a baseball cap without the bill on the front. It is completely covered. We're trying not to have, if you get a little triangle hole like this, that's fine. Little spots like that aren't gonna hurt, but for the most part, we want it covered. We want to have all of the crown area of the head covered so that we can add paper to this to create our wig. All right, so you are going to need 3 sheets of paper. You could, and it really, honestly, this is gonna go under our hair. So it doesn't matter if you use all the same color or 3 different colors. It's up to you if you wanna change colors. So 3 papers. One of the papers you're gonna cut into 4 strips. And the way that I did that to make it easy was on myself was to fold it in half and fold it in half again. That way when I open, and I creased it too. I pressed down and made sure. One trick is to go with your scissors and crease it. Another is to use your fingernail and crease it. What that does is when you open it up, there's 4 lines for you to use as guides to cut your paper. All right, now I already pre-did that. So I'm gonna pull out my little strips. And the next thing you need is to fold one of those sheets of paper in half. You're gonna fold it in half like this. And actually you're gonna fold the other 2 in half like this. One of them, you're simply gonna cut on that line and have 2 sheets of paper. All you did was fold it. You can use your thumbnail and get a good crease or use your scissors, the end of your scissors to do it. That'll give you a line, cut it in half. The other one, when you cut it in half, this is 1 sheet of paper. I saved the part that I cut out. When you fold it in half and cut it in half, about the width of your finger, you're gonna trim that much off. You can see here how much I cut off. It's about a little over 1/2 inch that I cut off, but again, it doesn't have to be an exact measurement to do this. And so once you simply cut off that edge, there's no crease to cut on. This time you're not cutting on the crease. You could take a ruler and draw a line if you felt more comfortable doing that. Or if you wanted, you could just kind of fold this over and create a crease so that you had something the length of your finger, the width of your finger, and then you just cut and follow that line down. All right, so again, I've already done all that. So what I'm gonna do, let me get my jumbo glue. We're using jumbo glue, not those little baby ones. That'll take us forever. I'm gonna get all my pieces ready. One of these is all I need. So I'm gonna put the big ones, the skinny ones go around the head. The big one goes crossways over. That's your crossband. So I'm gonna put that paper that I don't need away. This is what I need. So when I'm ready to get started working, I need those 4 strips. I need the 2 where you cut off the length of your finger. Excuse me, I keep saying length. It's the width of your finger. You just cut off maybe 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And then I need the one that I just directly cut in half, and you can see it's a little bit bigger. All right, so what I'm gonna do is put these up there out of the way. I'm gonna take tape and just tape these 2 together. Hang on, I've got sand from a broken tape dispenser, a cracked tape dispenser all over my table. It had to go to the tape doctor. All right, so I'm simply gonna lay those ends together. And you see, it's not a perfect match when I cut them, that's okay. This does not have to be perfect. It just needs to be sturdy and neatly done. So as neatly as I can, I'm gonna lay those together and tape them together. All right, and then someone in your group will need to be, and I'm just gonna fold that tape at the top over. I had a little excess. Someone at your group is gonna be the person to measure. You're gonna put this on their head, figure out where it needs to be taped, and then tape that closed. I know roughly what size I need to do this because I've made a few. So I'm just kind of guesstimating right there. You're gonna need to put it on someone's head so you can get the right spot there. The next thing you're gonna do, and this crossbar piece is pretty long and I'm leaving it pretty long. I'm putting a little piece of tape on it because it's just gonna add sturdiness to our crown. I'm making that one where I just folded the edges together, the front, because I can kind of fold it real nice there. I'm taping this on the side. You're gonna need your head model to figure out where you need to tape it on the other side. Again, I've made enough of these and I'm guesstimating. This needs to go on your head model's head. Figure out where you need to tape it on the side and then put your tape there. Try not to tangle it like I just did. All right, so the single wide band that is an actual half sheet of paper long ways, that goes across the top. The two skinnier ones where I took off about, when I folded it in half, I took off about a finger width, maybe half an inch, maybe a little over. That skinnier one is what you are using for the headband. I'm also, again, using this for the front, the two that I just laid right next to each other on the table. And I'm going to cut a little bit out of the front so that we have like the bang areas. You can see it's just like a tapered sliver. So maybe, like I said, a finger width. Love to use, in the old days, that's what they use, is hands, fingers, and feet to measure things. That's why a foot is a foot on a ruler, because most people's feet are about 12 inches. So about a finger's length. So it's about as long, a little bit longer than my finger, and you're just cutting it till you taper off so you have that area where it's not gonna be over the brows. And you might find later you wanna take off some more. That's fine, this will just get us started. We'll fine tune some of the measurements. All right, next thing you wanna do, I'm gonna put the scissors aside. This part I'm using glue. This is the part where I start to cover in this area. I'm gonna need one for the back and one for the front. All right, so we're gonna start with my front area because I feel like I know where the exact center is because there's no overlap. Get a little crazy with the glue. Keep in mind that this is gonna go here. So glue this whole bottom area. We want sturdiness. When that glue hardens, it's gonna be, it's not gonna be flimsy. It's gonna be not like cardboard, but it's gonna be firmer than the paper by itself because, you know, look how flimsy the paper is. Once that glue is on it, that's gonna strengthen it. So we are actually adding strength by doing this. All right, and I'm kind of centering that. And then I need this to get glued on the top. And you see there's a little excess, we'll just tuck that under. Again, oop, left some glue on the table, I'll use that. So cleanup today, you're gonna be cleaning up some serious glue snail trails. All right, get gluey with it. Try not to have too many clumps. You can see I've got a few. Glue mishap. All right. Oh goodness. Can you see that I did not quite tape that evenly on both sides? Hang on one second. This is why this tape is great. It is real easy to pick up and replace. Let's see. Let's center that a little better, where this is gonna come straight back on top of it. That looks pretty good. There we go. All right, we straightened that out. Sometimes I love when I make mistakes, because if I do it too perfect, then you don't know how to fix the mistakes. But I made a mistake, and you could see how to fix it. If you notice though, it still looks a little wonky. I'm gonna go up on this side a little and see how that affects it. Here we go, one more time. I had no trouble on this one. I just whipped it out, no problem. So I don't know where I went awry on this situation. All right, those triangles look pretty good, so I'm gonna do this. And that looks better. All right, here we go. Other side. Get gluey with it. Glue, 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 glue. Lots of glue. Stick this one, and I'm using the top to help me get this straight, because I know those two need to line up. And again, if you have excess, just tuck it under, that's fine. That side looks a little bigger to me, but we're gonna go with it. I don't think it will be a problem. It's not a huge difference. All right, so right about here is where I need the glue. I just bent it so I have a marker, so I know not to go past that. All right, so you can see there's the glue. We're going on top. You don't want to pull it so much that you're pulling in on your bottom, but you don't want it to be so loose that you get this big puff. You want to try and get it gently, as close as you can. So let me turn this sideways so you can see. You don't want to pull it too tight, and you don't want it too loose. You want to try and get it to lay smoothly and evenly. So you don't want a huge gap happening in the front and the back with these straps. All right, and then the next thing you're going to do is simply cut these in the middle. Throw some glue on the bottom of them. Everybody gets glue. Ooh, that's chunky glue. All right, one goes here. One goes here. And I think you kind of see the pattern I'm doing. Oh, I do have a bigger gap than I thought. Look at that. This one closes more. That's all right. We can work with this. All right, next thing you're going to do is glue those tops. All right, so each one, give it a little bit of glue. Glue the skinny straps. All right, here we go. Lay it nicely on the top. 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 You can turn it over, and you might want to watch out for where you got glue on the table. You can turn it over and press it to get that to stick really good. All right, and there's a little glue on there. Won't hurt a thing. All right, so let me take my messy glue stick and I'm gonna wind it down and get some of this glue back in there because we're gonna go through a lot of glue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is your wig base. We are not done with it yet. It is still flimsy. In the next class, hopefully this will take you one class period. If it doesn't, don't worry. We'll use the next class period to finish it up. After that, we're gonna strengthen it up so that we can start adding the hair to it, and we'll go over how to do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have fun.